Hey.
Hey, what up?
So what I missed last week, we talked down any depressed wrestlers from suicide?
No, last week was probably the worst show this year.
No, like cringiness or just boring?
Both. It
Oh,
was cringingly boring.
okay.
I was thoroughly unamused to the point where, like, at the end, like, the reason it was a walk off was just because I was so sick of being on. It's like, fuck this. Wait, we've got a Nazi joke? Yeah, all right, time to leave.
Oh, Brian was here?
No, Brian's son took his place.
Oh, good. And
We found out that Brian's son has, like, social phobia. So
I thought you were going to say we found out it runs in the family. Um,
no, it was very awkward.
did
We weren't supposed to swear around him.
Did anyone discuss how Andy didn't even try to edit out any of that?
I mean, a little bit. We talked about it for like 5 seconds.
Uh-huh.
He was like, nah, dog. It's like, okay, Andy.
All right. And, I realized it would have been better if he did edit it out, but I kept referencing it after because the nobody who ever watches it would be like, what are they talking about? Like, build some buzz.
Right.
There's no Arasa tonight. Was she here last week?
Yes. She was here for a long time last week.
And then you walked off.
Yeah. I don't know. I felt like she just kept derailing our conversation.
I was hoping she'd be here this week because I wanted to see her thoughts on the Vampiro Johnny Mundo.
Why?
War.
Fucking why?
Because her resistance to us telling her how AAA and by association Lucha is terrible to their talents.
Right.
Perfect example right here. And I know she's a big Vampiro fan.
but she's just going to say, I don't know much about it.
Yeah.
But if it's true, but it's not, like, it's just going to be like, she doesn't pay that much attention. Like, here's a weird thing about AAA and Lucha to an American fan. Like, you've got to be like a diehard wrestling fan to really be into them. And she's not a hardcore fan. She's like a peripheral fan. So, like, makes sense for her to be like a TNA fan because you can still be a TNA fan if you're not a hardcore fan. But like for AAA and Lucha, like you got to be like into it, and she's not even like that level of into it.
I think Lucha, and not necessarily Lucha Underground, but AAA is harder to get into than even New Japan, just because it's so specific. Like New Japan has enough similarity. Japanese wrestling was born out of American wrestling, but Lucha Libre has always been its own thing, regardless of what we were doing.
Right.
Here. So it's so much more.
Right, and I think as a fan, you can get confused really quick by Lucha, whereas with anything Puro, you're going to get into it because dudes are stiffing each other left and right. Yeah. So like, oh yeah, that looks nasty.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So on that point, it sounds like Vampiro is just another cog in the recurring fucking AAA wheel. And then now CMLL doesn't want Ring of Honor guys to work Crash anymore, which is like all the Bucks have been doing. The Young Bucks are there every week in Mexico.
Right.
And I don't even know who's running the Crash anymore because Conan's so invested in TNA.
Right.
GFW.
It's all messed up.
Yeah. And Del Rio just stepped down from Combate Americas.
Did he?
Yeah. To focus on wrestling.
Well, that's good.
It's good because he decided to focus on wrestling while he's currently suspended from the one company he works for.
He should put a mask back on.
Mm-hmm.
He really should. It's funny that there's rumors of Johnny Mundo joining GFW when they just announced how their new contracts are possibly like the worst ones in wrestling. Oh, by the way, we're taking 10% of your indie dates and
all of your merch.
Yep.
Now, is the caveat there that they can still have a pro wrestling t-shirt store and make their own money?
Right. It's any merch that they sell from their stuff.
Because I, as a wrestler, would just constantly be tweeting out, only buy merch from here.
Right. Right. I'm making no money if you buy it from the company that I'm working for.
Yeah.
But what a shitty deal. Like you're really just preying on whoever's left. Like,
yeah.
All right, well, I've got an alcohol abuse problem. I guess I'll go work for Jeff.
If you care enough to buy a fucking Eli Drake shirt, like, then you know enough to not buy it from TNA. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Exactly. It's just so bad. Like, oh my god. And Anthem, like, I don't get how Anthem is just like, oh yeah, we'll all that stuff that made it fail, we'll just keep that stuff around.
I don't understand how they seem like such a terrible company. Like, they're an evil corporation just because they bought a wrestling company and like.
So are they is it the Harris brothers, Anthem?
No, that was Aero Tech, Aero Lux.
Right. Aero Lux, right. I'm trying to figure out like where they played into all this, because like how did Anthem like come into
play? It
was
a three-way struggle at the end there between Corgan, Aero Lux, and Dixie, and Anthem. And Anthem won. They paid off the other two parties. Okay. The original deal when it was going to be sold by Dixie and Panda Energy was that Anthem was going to get like 90% and Aero Lux would be like a 10%, and then they just ended up getting cut out completely. And I think Anthem paid off the lawsuit that was against Aero Lux from that production company they had hired.
Right.
So that like was the even. So Anthem just took 100% control. So the Harris brothers are completely uninvolved. It's just this dude. Now Anthem owns the Fight app.
Fight app? Or Fight Network?
Fight Network, which is unrelated to the app.
I don't know.
I think the app is a part of the network, and Ring of Honor airs their pay-per-views on the app. And the Fight app has been promoting it as the best pro wrestling company in the world. But it's like, but if don't you own? I don't know. It's so fucking convoluted.
It is. It's all messed up.
Why
can't we have a legitimate number 2 company? Why does it have to be something fucked up?
Well, the closest number 2 will ever be will always still be a niche. Like it's not going to be. I still think to this day Ring of Honor probably is in this country, which is like a long shot. It's such a drastic, but just as far as consistent, they've never lost money, like at least not in a lot of years. So right.
I think like
just based on income and sustainability, they're the most behind WWE. They're the best position to be number 2 just based on that.
Right. The only way that they would take a legitimate number 2 is if they merged with PWG somehow.
Yeah.
Because that would make the most sense, taking over both coasts.
Yeah.
But it's just like, how can there not be a number 2? It'd be so easy. You can just play to the jilted fans that, don't like the product out there. You get some good guys and you build them up. Like,
but that's the thing. I mean, everyone talks about how it's good that there's so many promotions because there's so many opportunities for guys. But like, what guys are really left?
Right.
Like, who would you even start a promotion with right now if you were $1 billion investor and wanted to open one? There's like nobody. Who's available?
Right.
It's because of WWE buying every indie name the minute NXT became hot.
Right.
Everybody else locked everyone else down. And now what? Rey Mysterio's joining GFW, maybe?
Oh my god.
Who you read from?
Like, the whole GFW thing is just insane. At least Magnus got released. I'm glad that guy's not working for a company. I hate him with a passion.
It seriously sounds like he came in to drop the title and left. Like it was, which is funny because he's Jared's boy. And you see how they're promoting this new one night only pay-per-view where they're airing the original GFW shows they taped 2 years ago?
No, I didn't see that.
All of the promotion is Bobby Roode. Like, he is the face of every poster, and in their tweets they're outright @ NXT. Current NXT champion Bobby Roode. Like, wow. That's how they're pushing it. So
they're trying to get Roode buried somehow.
Yeah, it's just like.
Well, they did the same shit with Angle, right? As soon as Angle was mentioned, it's like, well, hey, here's all this Angle stuff that we had.
I mean, and they've been doing that for years. When Summer of Punk WWE edition happened, they suddenly had all of their CM Punk footage on their fucking on-demand thing at the time.
ROH had all the Danielson stuff when he started doing his own. I get that, but
But and for Ring of Honor and stuff, that makes sense. But for Ring of Honor, it never seemed desperate. It just seemed like more fans are interested in this, and we can make money. Right. Whereas with TNA, it was like, we had them first, guys. It always came off that way instead.
Right. Oh my God.
But with TNA, they just put out this week's special video as the best of Austin Aries. Like, okay, so you're courting him. We get it. Like,
right.
Which wouldn't be a bad thing. I mean, that'd be the best get they could get at this point. Just make him the fucking focal point and ditch Del Rio. I think Aries is a better guy to build a brand around at this point. But did you see his completely shaved head? He shaved everything. No beard, no hair. He looks crazy.
Aries?
Yeah.
I have not seen that. I got to pull that up.
Oh, it's nuts. Please look at it.
Oh, my God. Madness.
Oh, I just realized that was Stardust and Arrow.
Oh, yeah. It's a Stardust Arrow shirt. I had to retire my Enzo and Cash shirt.
Yeah. Or just, rip off half of it.
Which half? Just saying.
That's true. It's a hard question.
I have so much to talk about this week in wrestling, which is weird because I didn't think it was a notable week.
Not really.
But there was the Shane McMahon helicopter crash I want to talk about. There's, God, what was I just thinking about? The Kurt Angle Jordan thing.
I'd rather not. But
we have to talk about it.
We do.
We've got to talk about it. And just a bunch of stuff like that.
These are the things, just to preface it, that like drive me to not watch it. Like something as simple and stupid and easy to ignore and fast forward through as that just infuriates me.
Really?
And I hate those kind of angles. I hated it when Edge and Christian were brothers. I just hate the forced. And I understand you can bring up the Andersons and Kane and Taker. It's like, yeah, but like, it's just in this day and age, especially it's just so hard for me to rationalize that and like use that suspension of disbelief. And it's entirely just because we fucking know who Kurt Angle's kids are. Like, right. Angle's too far and late in his career to like maybe tarnish it with a weird storyline like this. Like it's like, no, he should kind of be bulletproof of that. Like,
oh, go fuck yourself, Trix.
Yeah, what the fuck? You can come on.
Weakest episode of Blab. Fuck you. No, the thing about the brothers, I will always go back to Hawkins and Ryder, right? When Vince walked up to him and was like, "Oh, so you guys are brothers?" And they're like, "No." And they're like, and he went, "Why are you calling yourselves brothers then? Stop doing that." And then that was the end of that. Yeah. It was just like one day at catering. Like Vince was like, "Wait, no, fuck that."
Yeah, for me, they won't be. They don't even look enough alike because they both had long blonde hair. They were suddenly brothers, Edge and Christian. No. And then it was worse because the same shit will happen with this if it doesn't. I mean, the obvious thing is that this eventually turns out to be fucking Jordan was lying the whole time, isn't his son, turns heel, and we have a match between the two of them, right? Like,
right.
And that saves it. But short of them doing that, it's very plausible that in 3 years WWE just forgets that this ever happens and acts like it didn't. Like Edge and Christian were suddenly just best friends again at the end. It never, you know what I mean? Like
Hornswoggle was suddenly just the little dude.
Yeah, like they just ignore all that shit eventually. And I mean, I'll give them that at least Kane, Taker, and Paul Bearer, they fucking rode that shit right up to the end. But
wow.
I mean, even
the end.
Even as a kid, that annoyed me because I knew it was Isaac Yankem. Like,
right.
Like it still bothers me when they give Kane's Rumble stats because he was in one as Diesel and one as Isaac Yankem that they ignore. So his stats they're impressive without that, but include that. Yeah.
It just bothers me that they use his name. They used the name Kane when they started calling him Kane the Undertaker to begin with. That really annoyed me. It's like, no, he's Kane.
Yeah.
He can't be Kane. He's Kane.
And or at least like just a passing reference. Like, okay, I will say that it was last week, right? Which week was it? This week. This week, Raw opens with that Shield monologue promo with the two. I thought it was fucking great because they like referenced shit and it mattered and there was continuity and it was like it felt the most like an Attitude episode opening of Raw.
Right.
that it's felt in a long time. Like, it seemed like shit mattered, and it was an opening promo segment that wasn't boring or drawn out or just, it was like there was real shit there. And like Rollins bringing up, like, we also beat the shit out of each other. You took the title from me. Like, we're kind of like that. Do that all the time. I don't give a shit about Ambrose's and Miz's feud. Like, it's so overdone and dead. And I don't want to see this match. I don't care. But I just that alone was enough to make me more interested in Ambrose and Rollins, for that matter, than I had been in months, because there was fucking substance to what they were saying, and it paid off having been a fan for so long.
Right. I think insulting the fans every month, where it was like, hey, forget that all happened. Let's do, it just, it erodes the product. And I got into a huge argument with someone over the stupid Doctor Who stuff, right? So the Doctor Who stuff where there's a female doctor.
Yeah. I don't watch the show, but I know that.
Right, it's a thing.
Yeah.
And so my whole thing was, I'm not against a woman as the doctor, the character, but I'm upset that they're doing it and it has no storyline whatsoever. And people are like, oh, he's mystical, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, it's just like in wrestling when, suddenly John Cena's kicking out of 3 tombstone pile drivers. You're just going, well, that's not real. Like, that's not the, it takes you out of the moment. It ruins the suspension of disbelief that you have.
Right.
It brings you back to, oh yeah, this is fucking stupid. This is not what I'm wanting. So
100%.
So it was just, I brought that example up, and I feel like when they do stuff like bring up the Shield stuff, when they all do the hand stuff and stuff like that, it's like, oh yeah, you're calling back something that I'm supposed to remember, something that I'm supposed to be into.
Yeah, and then there's other shit that they won't. But like, and then on top of it, this seems like it's doing a good, like, the first time there's been a Roman Reigns chant universally, maybe since the Shield, at the end of this segment. But Vince will refuse and insist that he's in the main event of SummerSlam and not just do the Shield versus these 3 assholes. Like I think it's too early. I think that there should just be a tease and then they go separate again. And then in like 2 years, and just keep having subtle. But like, if you're going to do this much, you want Reigns to be over, don't you?
Right.
Like, fucking do the reunion. He's going to get a pop way more than he's going to get a reaction for doing anything in that SummerSlam main event. Like,
yeah, if he's going to just take the title, like, it's just going to kill off everything about him. It's just going to kill it all off.
This is a way better way to get him over. Just, sorry guys, I got to focus on my fucking brothers. I'll take care of this later. And then you have Joe or someone take it, or Strowman, and then Reigns beats him later. And I don't know.
I don't know. I'd be really interested to see the legitimate merch numbers, because I'm walking around and not even at wrestling related things will see other wrestling shirts. I have yet to see a Roman shirt in public outside of a wrestling event.
I can't even think of what. Oh, the one has the fist. Okay.
Right.
And then he's got the new silhouette one. That could be anyone. It doesn't even look like Roman Reigns.
It's an AJ Styles shirt.
Yeah. But, and he doesn't even have anything iconic enough for me to even really think about what. Yeah, I mean, I don't. You
just believe that. You
see more Bullet Club shirt, which obviously it's a wrestling event, so there's going to be more marks. But I think even in the wild, I see people with Bullet Club shirts. Like, I'll be at shows and people. I never see anyone, and I'll see that more than most WWE merchandise. But still, like, I know that doesn't seem impressive because we know Bullet Club's such a big phenomenon, but we're also in it. Like, you'd think there'd be more casuals who have Roman Reigns shirts if he's that big. Right.
If he's that big and he is such a draw, you would think you would see his shirts somewhere.
Yeah.
But, like, I've seen New Day shirts. I've seen Nakamura shirts. I've seen even AJ Styles shirts that, like, AJ P1 shirt.
I see a lot more Nakamura shirts than you think, too. But Balor, too.
Right, I see a lot more Balor. And Cena shirts. I will believe the Cena hype. I see those shirts everywhere.
Yeah.
But I do not see Roman Reigns shirts, so I don't get what the build is about. Like, is it really about merch? Is he really like a draw? Well, it's not a ratings thing, because we can see that it's clearly not a ratings thing.
It's funny, too, because we keeps getting discussed as though Reigns is the work in progress, going to be the next guy Vince is building him. But that's been the narrative for like 4 fucking years now. Like, if he's not built yet, like, this is now you can't. So it's a 10-year project and then he'll be over. Like, Cena was over by the 2nd year and then was trailing off by the 4th. Like, you can't take this long to get somewhere. It's not.
Right. And Cena did it by himself. We got to remember that there was the whole Shield thing for 2 years?
Yeah.
2 years, because they were like they were masked for their first like 3 events that they were at, if I remember correctly, and then they were unmasked for a good year and a half. So you got to put all that into account. You know, when from Cena's ruthless aggression point to the point where he was the attitude adjustment. You know, so after Thugonomics Cena, like from that point to that point, yeah, it was like a 2 to 4 year plan, and he was suddenly, you know, spinner belt and everything.
And they also had him go through the U.S. title, and you know, like he was the opening match at Mania. Like there was a natural progression.
Right.
I don't know. It's just nobody's saying Reigns can't be a top guy. Like I'm fine with him in main events. I really don't mind him like being involved in shit. It's just like, why does he have to be it's this insistence on him being the absolute top of the food chain, no one else comes close thing that's the problem. If he's one of the fucking, don't have a top guy.
Right.
AJ's just more over than Reigns.
Right.
Nakamura's pretty much there. Like you have enough dudes as faces. It's just an ensemble cast, and there's never a top guy anymore because the world changed. Can we do that? Like,
so many people were upset that the title was not in the forefront of people's minds during the end of the Shawn Michaels era, right? Because you cared more about matches that didn't have the title. You cared about the Taker Shawn matches. Yeah. You cared about the Cena, you know, Orton matches that didn't have the title. Like they were building matches that didn't have the title. And it's like, well, there's a place for that. There's a place for having a Goldberg versus Lesnar without a title. There's a place to have a Roman versus Joe match without the title. There's places for that. And you can still have the title go to a guy who needs that rub of the title. Like I'm okay with Jinder having the title.
See, and with you, and on that point, I don't like Jinder as champion, and that's fine. Mm-hmm. But I'd be more inclined to like it as champion if they still treated that as the championship feud, and I wouldn't have to watch it, and I wouldn't. The problem is, like you're saying, it's the old days of having main event guys in non-title feuds that matter. There's no reason AJ and Owens can't be feuding because they don't like each other. Putting the fucking U.S. title in there is just like, it to me, it lowers the stock of the feud because we know it's not the main title, but you're still putting everything associated with that on last on your shows. So instead of getting Jinder to a main event level and making these two seem like they're still just as important, you fucking made me think the U.S. title is the main title and the WWE Championship is secondary. Like it doesn't.
Well, not just that. You also have to remember storyline-wise, a title almost hurts the way that you can tell a story, right? Because if you don't have a title in there, anything can literally happen and you can progress to the next week. Whereas when you have a title in there, the changing of the title becomes part of the story, so it limits you. It really limits what you can do. People think it expands it, like, oh, well, now he can cheat and still keep the title. It's like, well, no, that limits him because before he could cheat or he could win, and it wouldn't be as severe as, with the title. So, like, having the title limits your belief because if they're having 3 matches and one guy's won 2, more than likely it'll get switched over on that third one.
And it also telegraphs how long a feud is too much, I think. Like, with a title, even when he loses it, we know we got to sit through one more because he's got a rematch. You know what I mean? Like, whereas when there's no title, it could end at any point. Like, I'm really enjoying, I was just saying this week, I'm not going to say really, but I've enjoyed Raw the last few weeks. Like, I think that it's a more enjoyable show. I don't love it. It's not the best it can be, but it's felt more like Raw. And I know I just said that because of the opening segment with the Attitude Era similarity, but like that as a part of it, I just feel like the flow of the show, granted it's still 3 hours, which sucks, but it's felt more like Raw than it has in a while for the last, 3 or 4 weeks. And a lot of that is these sub-feuds they're doing. Like, I like Balor and Elias Sampson just because and I know it's like Balor should be higher and Samson's weird, but just the fact that it's kind of just a fucking wrestling feud. Like, they just don't like each other and they just keep fighting, and now he just took it too far. Like, I like the sub, like, we're just building to something feuds, like fucking Bray and Raw, and now all this was just a fucking stopgap until Wyatt was ready for Balor, and now we're just going to move on to that. Like, I like those mini things that they can do because it takes away from having to see the same main event every week for 3 weeks, and now they're in a tag with a different partner. And
yeah, I don't know. I feel like it was nice when people started thinking about Lesnar leaving. like all of the possibilities of what was going to happen. I don't like that, knowing now that he's probably going to leave, how they handled the Joe situation at the last pay-per-view, because I feel like it hurt it. But it opens up some interesting possibilities, and it allows the show to really kind of move forward with like flowing a lot of stuff, for that eventual happening.
Well, and I feel like the Brock experiment has been weird from the beginning, because the point in bringing in someone like Brock Lesnar, who's a high dollar star, you have a limited amount of time before he signed the second contract, just when he first came back and fought Cena at Extreme Rules. You bring him in, and I understand you have to build him up to a certain level. So despite him having the UFC thing, you want to build him as a monster for a little while so that it finally means something. But then they like, it's gone too long. Like, one guy can't beat him and get the rub because they got lucky and beat Brock Lesnar. And that's how it's going to seem no matter what. When Reigns or whoever beats him at Mania, whatever, it's not like Reigns is the triumphant one who fucking killed Lesnar and it was decisive. Like, Goldberg did it twice and didn't need that. Like, you brought him back to give a younger group of guys a rub against Brock Lesnar, established monster. And you don't want to beat him too much. And they did that at first, which was the mistake. But, like, it's like now since he beat Cena for the title at that SummerSlam to now, he's been untouchable unless you're Goldberg, and then he's really easy to beat. And neither of those guys can do anybody any favors. Like,
right.
You should be having some points in the year where people are getting lucky ones on him and then actually beating him. Like, right.
So I always talk about the mistake that was Roman Reigns losing at WrestleMania 32, right? Was that the one where Rollins cashed in? Was that 31 or 32?
31.
31. Because so many things led up to that, right? So you back the train up to Ric Flair's retirement. Ric Flair goes through this whole I'm going to retire thing, or I'm going to get, I'm going to have to force to be retired when I lose. So they have this big series of matches building up how important it is to him, have him lose to Shawn. So now you've built up Shawn as the guy who took Flair away. Then Shawn goes to fight Undertaker, who's also got the undefeated streak going. So then Taker beats Shawn. So now you've built up Ric Flair and Shawn into the streak. So you've got this massive momentum going into this one thing. And they were like, well, what about if Brock beat Taker? Okay, so now Brock has underneath his belt Taker, Flair, and HBK.
Yeah.
Okay, so now if you beat Lesnar, you're the guy. You take all these things away from what's happened, and all this build goes to you. And then they get to WrestleMania, and I get that it made the fans happy. But then as soon as Rollins cashes in that Money in the Bank title, all that shit doesn't matter anymore. It was a waste of all the build. It was a waste of all the hype. It was a waste of losing the streak. It was just completely wasted.
And to be fair, it's still salvageable because he pinned Reigns, so you can just say, well, next year Brock still has this. He never got pinned. But then they convoluted in between because Taker gets his revenge on Lesnar at Survivor Series. And then, like we said, Goldberg beats Lesnar.
Right.
So now by the time you even get to the next Mania where they could have still – because I understand what you're saying, and you're right. But there was still a way to – kind of clean it up and make it but he didn't get pinned, so he still has all that under his belt. This is bullshit.
Right.
And then you take it all away from him, and now no one remembers. And a lot of that hinges on the fact that they were like, wait, we can sign him for more years?
Right.
Lesnar was supposed to be, we're bringing back a big dude who left us, who should have been the next star, and he fucked us over, but he got even bigger somewhere else, and he's got real credibility.
Right.
We're going to use him to make our new star. And they were just like, fuck, we got a star back. He's just the star. That's it. But he's not here enough. But who cares? It's just this Brock Lesnar, and that's who it is. No, that's not why you brought him back.
Right. It was the bridging of the gap. You were trying to get one more title underneath his belt for that next young star to have. And you would bring Goldberg back to have Lesnar beat Goldberg to put another thing under his belt. But then you don't do that. You let Goldberg beat him, and it's just kind of like, huh. So all this has been bullshit.
Yeah.
This is all.
And yet, he got the win back after getting fucked up twice. He doesn't, if you're going to do that, because then it was, supposedly it was Lesnar's idea. Hey, let's drag this out. I can make money with Goldberg. Cool. don't have him beat him so quick.
Right.
Like,
right.
It's just I don't know.
Or have it be something else. Like Goldberg learned how to do a submission move that Brock wasn't ready for. You know, he was just preparing for the spear, and every time that Goldberg would go for the spear, Brock would drop down into a position, and suddenly Goldberg knows like a freaking bow and arrow or something strange. Some weird submission move where it's like, what? How did he learn that? And so it's like, oh, you got me because not you didn't overpower me. You got me because I was overconfident, and you learned something with all this stupid Brazilian jiu-jitsu and MMA stuff that you supposedly learned while you were gone. I felt that was so like everyone's talking about HBK, come back for one more match. No, I'm done. I want to stay retired. There's a mystique to staying retired. Now there's not. Your retirement means nothing. Your retirement was bullshit. Like they used all the momentum from that and did nothing with it. And I don't know who made those calls and who was along the way while that was happening. You got to think that Triple H would have at least understood the money that could have been had, but they just completely missed the boat on that one.
Yeah, you're right with the lineage of that though. It's like all of the Manias kind of became a consecutive. You could be the fan who watches only WrestleMania every year, and there was still a clear story.
Right.
Just in the who was retiring to who and who's in it. Because I look at that, like I'll look at a WrestleMania card. Like I get excited for stupid shit. Like I just think historically, because I remember being the kid reading the Wrestling Almanac every year and being like, and here's what happened at WrestleMania 3. And here's everybody who wrestled it. So like I like things like if you are fucking 6 years old and just got into wrestling and you want to know about history, you go on Wikipedia and you're like, whoa, so The Rock wrestled at WrestleMania 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 through 19 and 20, and then came back at 27 or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, and then he was like, I like the weird gap, or even when they put the belt on him. To us, it's like The Rock doesn't need the belt, but like, it's cool to see that if you're looking at the title lineage, it's like, wait, The Rock won it in fucking 2002, and then all the way here in 2014, like what the fuck? How did he? And you didn't know if he left. Like I like.
Go look at all that stuff again. Look at the way that The Rock's WrestleMania lineage would have happened, right? If you follow his story from when he came back until when he stopped having matches, there could have been something cool out of that. Him and Cena trade off, but Punk got the better of him. No, Punk didn't get the better of him. So Punk's rub goes into the Rock's Cena feud. Cool. They trade back and forth, so then they're building up. And then you've got, I think, Bray the next year.
Yeah.
Bray Cena, and then Cena just rolls over him. It's like it could have been the three of you, all that stuff. Bray could have taken a little bit of that rub and gone like, I'm going to be the eater of worlds. The Rock is gone, Punk is gone, now I'm going to make you gone, and like all that rub, he pins him, Sister Abigail's, all this, momentum goes to him, but they didn't do that. They just kill him off, and then all the stuff that happened from The Rock doesn't turn into anything.
Yeah. And also to your point with the whole, so Lesnar beats Taker, it completes the circle, the retirement thing. It's like this year we're like, fuck, let's just act like Taker's undefeated and have Roman get it from him. You know what I mean? Like when you have Roman beat him, and it means like, no, you can't. That already Brock's. This doesn't, and now it means less that Brock did it because someone else did it too.
Right.
Like it's just because like either after Brock beat Taker, he needed to never win at WrestleMania again because the mystique and aura was destroyed, or he needed to always win so that Brock is still the one who did it and the only one.
Right.
By having Roman do it too to retire him, it's like, I guess they're both good. Like it just, there's no, it's not like, well, was he over the hill? It's like, it doesn't, because there was 2 wins in between that like make it, throw it off.
Was it 2?
He beat Bray.
Right.
And he beat, was it just 1?
I think it was just 1. I don't remember. It was 30.
30. There had to be another one then. 30.
It was
31. He wrestled Bray. 32. This was 33, right?
I have no fucking clue anymore. We weren't allowed to number them, remember? Who was the other one, Trix? It was who was Dallas? Bray was San Francisco, so who was Dallas?
Yeah. Fuck, Tricks, come on.
Triple H?
No.
Come on. I need something here.
Shane McMahon.
Shane.
Thank you, Tricks.
Thank you. Again, you're not getting anything by having a Shane McMahon match.
No.
He's not giving you the rub that you're still back.
Right. But still, it's like there's no. He should have like never wrestled at WrestleMania again then.
Right.
And then, you know, or like last year, which is still another back to the Shield continuity thing. Great, good, makes sense. Unlike when he came out last November, it was like, my legacy is no longer defined by WrestleMania. I'll wrestle again at WrestleMania, and that'll be it. Like,
you know what you really do? What you really fucking do. And I have no like. It's so obvious to me that it's like frustrating to look back at it. You just Jeff Hardy him. You have Roman Reigns go in there, get the shit kicked out of him by Taker. Last ride, tombstone, everything, kicks out, comes in, beats the hell out of him some more with like a chair stable, kicks out, tombstone, 1, 2, 3. But then he gets up, Taker comes back, tombstones him again, walks away, and he gets up, mouth bleeding, just looking at him. Taker comes in, shakes his hand, takes his hat off, and then points at him as he leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that would look so much cooler. Like, you didn't beat the dead man, but he gave you his sign of seal of approval. Like, you know what? If you can withstand that beating that I just gave you, this is your yard.
Yeah.
So much better. So much better. Jeff
and
got
it sounds like a better booked match than what we got too. That fucking
and so much easier for Taker because he's not taking the bumps that.
He's just doing finishers. Yeah, he could have wrapped that up, and it would have still been exciting after everything else that happened.
Right.
But instead, they just had a fucking snore fest, a sloppy fucking side ring brawling until Reigns won. Like,
right. But you just give him the Jeff Hardy rub because I think that was probably the second most over moment of Jeff's career, other than the Punk stuff. Is getting that rub from Taker when he got up and in his, prepubescent voice, Taker, I'm still standing. And he came back and picked him up and shook his hand and raised it and all that stuff. That's what you do. That's how you get him over. And why can't they figure that out?
It's funny because we're suggesting ways that he should be over. Like, we're not even the typical he shouldn't be over, fucking leave. It's like no, like, you can make him over. You're just not doing it right at all.
Right.
And the worst thing you can do is obviously the common complete. Force him, like, just let him be one of the fucking. Why do you want a main star in this day and age who can leave?
So there's a comedian named John Mulaney. I don't know if you're familiar with his work.
Mm-hmm.
He has one of my favorite jokes of all time. He's like, Donald Trump is what a homeless guy would picture a rich guy being. Oh, I'd have gold everything. Oh, I'd put my name on it. Oh, I'd do this, right? It's like a joke about what a homeless person would picture being rich would be, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the way I look at Roman's growth is like when like a mid-carder who had no career whatsoever is like, if I were a main eventer, how would have I done it? I'd beat everybody. I would pin them all clean. Taker, I'd take him out. I'd take this guy out. I'd beat them all. Like, it's like, oh wait, Road Dogg isn't back really fucking doing this. Like, he's really pushing for this main event thing and yet has no fucking clue what he's doing.
And to hi Andy.
Fuck you, Andy.
What are we talking about?
Back to the Shield thing real quick. It also fucking, as we've been predicting for years, ruins it that even if Reigns did come out or just the two of them had a Shield reunion, they have to use the music he still uses and he doesn't have to change his fucking outfit. Like, what?
But
Delta,
why can't they?
Bravo.
Yeah. Why can't they just do that part first?
Like, I almost want him to rejoin the Shield so that spun out of it, maybe he'd get different music in an outfit. Like, it's, like, just to fucking change him, I'll take a night of them all together.
But yeah, Andy, we've been having a thoughtful discussion. I think this has been a really good discussion. You go fuck yourself, Tricks. Worst episode ever.
Yeah, we wanted to take it back.
Fucking Tricks, like 2 minutes in, it's like, only you two? Worst episode ever.
Ouch.
I got to go back and screenshot that. Hold on. Talk amongst yourselves.
So, hey, Andy, sorry I wasn't here last week. Thanks for not editing out our fucking intervention.
That's all right. You gotta. You don't have to be at every one of them, you know.
Did anybody say anything? I'm looking on Twitter. Did anyone give us a reason for not being here yet?
I don't think so. I feel like if I stream this on Periscope, Trix would be all over it, saying it was the best episode ever.
Simulcast?
You're not hot enough for that to happen, Andy. Show some tits.
I should simulcast maybe. I could.
I'd be down. But we've had a pretty thoughtful discussion tonight, I'd say.
What was the topic?
The topic was Roman Reigns. Why isn't it work? And how would you get it to make it work?
Did you start with the chest protector?
Hasn't even come up. We were talking about, one of my opinions is that all the things that happened from Ric Flair retiring to Shawn Michaels not being able to beat the streak to Triple H not being able to beat the streak. Forgot to add that, Damien. Triple H not being able to beat the streak.
Yeah.
To Shawn Michaels retiring, to Brock Lesnar beating Undertaker and enveloping all those accomplishments. Nothing came of that. Brock then eventually lost to Goldberg, and nobody got the rub from all that stuff happening. That should have gone to Roman somehow, or somehow, gone to somebody, and instead we got 2 losses to Goldberg and nothing from it. And that would have been an easy way for Roman to get something at least out of all that. And yet nothing happened. But yeah, so that's been kind of what we've been chatting about.
But now we're going to get Reigns and Lesnar again. Less than ever.
Just crazy. Is Bill in here and I just don't see him?
Oh, I didn't even see
Is he going to take him to Superman City?
Sorry, Bill.
Oh, that's right. We have to do picks tonight too. Bill's going to be at Battleground on Sunday.
Picks.
Are you performing? Are you performing? I haven't seen the card yet. I'm just assuming.
I'm in a 3-way match with Sasha Banks and Sasha Banks.
Sasha Banks, and Billy Bear. I'd totally see that shit.
With Sasha Banks and whoever wants to participate.
So,
and whoever comes out that door behind him.
It's a loser loses their dignity match.
Brian's son is running late. He's practicing his delete.
I gotcha. That's horrible.
It was, I don't know, man. There was parts last week that I wish I wasn't a part of.
What's great about that is the last time I was here, I thought we reached that level when we had suicidal Justin fucking Credible on the show, and somehow a week later it was worse for everyone.
So I told him. He's like, "So how was last week's episode?" I'm like, "Well, we ended on a Nazi joke, and then we walked off." Tell me.
It went to a whole new realm, and the thing is, we can't afford editing here, so it just gets left in.
It kept getting worse and worse. It got so bad we just couldn't stop it.
I can't wait until our new thing is that we're just the shock jocks of fucking podcast.
I think it reached its peak when I tried to get Brian's son to go through his tabs to see if he could find porn. I think that was the highlight of the show for me.
All we're missing is our Beetlejuice.
Where did Brian go?
I have no idea.
I have not.
Like at the time.
He just left his kid the head.
He never came back.
Yeah.
He just walked away.
All right.
His kid was getting obnoxious.
Well,
was he here earlier today?
No.
Has anyone tweeted with him this week?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Call him up. Talk him off the ledge.
He was up late tweeting about the G1. So
yeah, he hasn't tweeted any of us. Do you think he was offended by Dave's comments to his children?
I just want you all to know that evidently I'm still cool with Brian because I wasn't here. So at least
I may have suggested multiple things like maybe his kid should hit him with a chair. What else did I say?
Turn heel.
I want him to swear. I was trying to get him to swear on camera. I wanted him to tell me the worst thing he's ever done, and he kept saying, "I'm not going to do it." I'm like, "Tell me, kid. Tell me what the worst thing you've done is."
You said it just like that. I'm not gonna do it.
It was bad.
Hey, question. Since Dave is Mr. Chicago.
Yeah, fuck you, Andy.
Huh.
Come with a question.
Okay, so the other day,
Go on.
I have to find it now. Hold on.
Use your words.
Okay. The other day, Billy Wack from Lunatic Wrestling tweeted out a music video called Jackie Shop for Less.
Okay.
Are you familiar with that, Shane?
Not even remotely.
Okay, because apparently it's a store in the greater Chicago area.
That's a pretty big area.
And it's a music video about who would shop there and why. And it's really fucking funny. And I liked it. And then I realized that I really enjoyed a novelty song about a convenience store in another state I've never been to or heard of. And
I'll one up you. Have you ever seen the movie Clerks? I was entertained by a convenience store in another state that I've never visited. So it's pretty much the same thing.
But that's fictional, and Jackie Shop for Less exists.
So did the Quick Stop.
Well, it's there, but it's not.
I don't know. It's another state.
I'll tell you that, they took some liberties there.
Did they?
It's like singing a song about 7-Eleven, but the ones in Japan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, I was hoping you knew what it was because you might actually enjoy it. Like
no, that one does not sound familiar, unfortunately. It might be a Southside thing. I don't know.
Road trip, possibly.
Let's do it. We'll get Frozen, and then we'll do that.
Yeah, Frozen, and then hit that.
I love it.
I'm going to run to the bathroom. You guys should talk about how Shane McMahon crashed into the ocean.
Oh, I heard about this.
So, hold on. Before you leave, Andy, did you hear it was Jay Cross's brother-in-law that helped him?
No, really?
Yeah, so a wrestler that may have heat with Andy, his brother-in-law was actually the one who helped him get the helicopter all down and everything.
Did he say any wrestling stuff to him?
Nothing major.
My favorite thing from the whole thing was the reporter. Everybody's interviewing him for like a half hour. Like he's on all the news. And then finally, I guess someone looked at Twitter and saw, that's Shane McMahon that you're talking to. And then finally one reporter's just like, "Are you Vince McMahon's son?" And he's just like, "Yes, I am."
That's easily the question of the year by a reporter. Weird question. Your name sounds familiar.
And I love that for Shane, to us, like Shane McMahon is a fucking name. You can say Shane without, but to the world at large, it's just like Vince's kid, never done anything on his own, but I know you're Vince's.
Here's my question. So that was like a half hour into it. Why was that person there? Like, why was that person? Hey, a bunch of people talking to some douchebag who crashed a helicopter. I'm in. Yeah. I'm in. And then, oh shit. That's a real thing. I didn't hear what happened other than he crashed into the ocean. Was there any more details beyond that?
It sounded like what I initially heard. It didn't sound as much of a crash as it was more an emergency landing. Like the systems were going down in the helicopter, and they did a water landing, which I guess most people would call a crash. To me, I'd assume that if you put it down the way you're supposed to, although in a bit of duress, it's more of a landing than a crash. But
I guess a crash is something unintended, right? So
well, yeah, I mean, if that's, roll a bunch of crashes then, if that's the case. But
no, did anybody see the reporter footage of? I saw this piece of footage online where the person filming just kept pointing the camera down and zooming in on I assume reporters socks with sandals. Did you see that at all? That was kind of funny.
Asshole crashes helicopter, but look at this sandals.
they kept zooming in on the sandals.
Wow. That is funny. I have not seen that. Is Shane McMahon relevant anymore?
He's okay though, right?
Yeah, he's fine. He's upright.
Good.
He's still funny.
He went as far as to make a statement saying that the crash was not going to affect his duties for SmackDown Live, and he will be at the pay-per-view.
Oh, that's good.
I guess. I don't know. Is anybody really excited about this pay-per-view?
I am, because I'm going to it.
Are you even excited about it?
I'm not. I'm only excited about the actual act of going there, more so than the act of actually watching it.
For me, going to a pay-per-view, knowing that there's not pyros anymore, it takes away from it a little bit. Because it takes away from the show and the experience to me.
Now, Bill, what kind of seats do you have?
So I'm going to be in section 103, so it's lower level, like in the regular bowl, row 14, and I believe it seats like 12 and 13, or 13 and 14, something like that.
Is that camera side?
It's not hard camera side. So I initially was looking at, I believe it was 123 is like dead center camera side in the Wells Fargo Center. So it would be on hard camera side. But right before I placed the order, they had sent an email blast out that tickets weren't selling well, so you could get like $150 tickets for $75 a piece.
That was the saddest email I've ever seen.
I didn't get the email. I saw the news report of it on Wrestling Inc. or whatever. So I tweeted the guy who put the article out, like, hey man, like, you have the code. I called Wells Fargo and they won't do it over the phone. We need the code. We have to follow it through the email. And he never got back to me. Brian's from Philly, so I messaged him, and he said that he hadn't gotten the email either. So I just guessed at the password. What do you guess? Guess what the password was, Dave?
Punjabi.
No, that would have been better. Andy, what the password was for the special discount?
I don't know. WWE?
Almost. The password for the discount Battleground tickets was Battleground.
Oh, of course.
I guessed, man. I just typed Battleground. It goes, here you go. Here's your deal. I'm guessing if I would have typed in shit on a shingle, it would have went through, because that's how bad they're trying to sell tickets.
Oh my goodness.
So I ended up not getting the initial section that I wanted, but for those same level tickets on StubHub or anywhere else were easy, like 180, 190 piece. So I'll take them for $75.
Do you think you would have got a bigger discount if you said, I've got Paige's second video? Do you think you would have got a
Yeah, maybe.
I smell a hashtag war coming on. Bigger discounts with those codes.
So yeah, it'll at least it'll be interesting to see the Punjabi prison in person. The match itself probably will be pretty lame, but just seeing the structure in person would probably be cool.
Now, do you think there's any chance at this show that you would just be able to, I don't know, maybe say like just walk in and set a chair down like other wrestling shows?
I'm hoping that I won't have to. I'm hoping that I'll be able to cancel or dispute the charges on the card, and then just pull up a chair and randomly sit down right next to the commentators. I'm going to try as hard as I can to sneak onto commentary.
How are your seats?
Might be the French commentary, and there may be a nice awkward pause before they speak for me to get a couple of words in.
Are you floor seats?
No, it's section 103, so it's in the actual bowl.
If you want information, stop going to the bathroom. We got 2 hours to fill.
No,
Are you the picture of Austin Aries, Dave?
No.
Yeah.
Wow. That man looks like a penis next to a penis.
He looks like a penis got cancer.
All right.
Wow.
So
Come on.
Hashtag survivor.
Hashtag battleground.
Hashtag great balls of fire. Okay.
did you think it was weird to have Michael Bennett's debut match be in a match where if a casual person was watching it, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between the two guys in the ring?
I don't know how to answer that.
I just think him and Sammy look very similar if you didn't know the difference between them.
Well, they were both wearing pants in wrestling.
To a casual fan, that's weird.
It is.
I thought it was weird that they had that be his first match instead of just like a lower level guy that he would beat strongly.
Well, they don't want him to.
What do you think Sami Zayn is?
But like it was more of a cheap victory, and I don't know. It just I have after the Sami Zayn feud. Where's he gonna go?
Anywhere?
Everyone has beaten Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn, I feel like will at the end walk away with beating him and win the series. So then
it should be Bennett versus Corbin. That should be their money going into the winter.
It's weird how they decide where people go. Like, how the fuck did Mike Bennett skip NXT?
I don't think he skipped NXT. I think Maria skipped NXT, and he's just there.
Like, they were confident enough in him knowing the WWE style, having only ever really worked Ring of Honor and New Japan.
Yeah, TNA run.
Well, yeah, but
he was good. I mean, they were both good in TNA. They were like That's
just a lost year in his career to me. I don't know.
There was a point where I was watching it a little bit. I'd fast forward and I would only watch Eli Drake's and Mike Bennett segments.
And then you gave up on that.
Yeah. Then it was too much. Eli Drake, I like that. I think he's hysterical.
Yeah,
you know enough not to buy his shirt.
I was just gonna say that. Where would you buy a shirt from? Or is cheapest
right? I mean, I think that I would try to buy it from someone who just made it in front of me, knowing he got literally $0 from it. I think that's the R. Rossa way.
I mean, I just don't know why you would ever shop anything Impact or GFW related. Like, why would you ever shop on that website? You are not helping anybody.
I want to know what their merch looks like. Hold on.
Everybody knows you got to shop smart. You got to shop S-Mart.
Awful. You just fucking.
Everybody does know that.
You gotta know
like,
it.
do you buy gold or do you buy Eli Drake stuff? Like, which one are you buying?
I think you buy the Eli Drake shirt hoping they accidentally ship you the gold.
Okay, so when you go to Global Force Wrestling store,
let's do it.
The top items are, in order, Legends of Memphis wrestling poster, $20.
$20.
Autographed Jeff Jarrett guitar with him on it, a photo of him on it, $175. A GFW t-shirt, and then the second row, middle, a Global Force Wrestling prize pack, including several Jeff Jarrett 8x10s.
That was the whole goal that he's getting 100% of the merch money for those. Is that why they're the top items?
I searched GFW store to try and just get a link straight to it. Global Force wasn't even the top listing. It was genderfreeworld.com, which is gender neutral clothing. And I feel like I'd be more interested in buying their clothing at this point than anything from GFW.
Which company do you think's around longer? And can we get a World Wildlife Fund type interaction and get Global Force Wrestling to lose their copyright?
I just love that they thought they were getting away from tits and ass and went into gender fluid wardrobe or whatever the fuck it means.
So it'd be GFWE is what they're going to have to go with.
Damien, do you think they're going to show up soon in your loot crate?
No. Oh, but I have one to unbox.
Oh, because I was going to say we haven't seen one in a while.
I haven't seen an unboxing ever live.
Can you guys get whatever we're going to need for the picks ready so that when we're done with this, we can go into that?
Is it weird that the first picture I see for the 8x10s is Kurt Angle's ex-wife? Is that weird that that's like kind of front and center on their website?
That's my favorite thing about Kurt Angle 24 is how much she was in it. Oh, yeah, I was married.
Oh, man.
This website sucks.
I haven't checked it out. Should we?
Let's do it. That's where I'm at now.
Pull it up here.
I want a personalized guitar. There's nobody like I don't see any wrestler stuff on here. It's all Jarrett stuff and a lot of Karen Angle. I mean, a lot.
Is it every angle of Karen Angle?
It's a lot of angles.
Would you say it's like the Angle Grand Slam?
I don't think he's slamming any of that anymore.
The shop. All right, let's check this out.
Did you search GFW store? Because I don't recommend it.
I just typed in the. What is this? Okay, now here's.
No.
Okay.
Hold on. I just want to get this in real quick. I clicked the link at the top that said, get your own fully licensed and customized belt. I'm like, I wonder how much that costs. Goes to Top Rope Belts. Well, this is somewhat embarrassing, isn't it? We can't seem to find that anymore. I'm like, why would you still link that at the top of your page? Oh.
So what I don't understand is you clicked on shop from their website and it quickly jumps you off of their website to a .richardsandsouthern.com site.
I saw that.
Which is a store. So right now you're pretty much off of Global Force's website. So they're immediately sending traffic away. That's not good.
But if you go to richardandsouthern.com, it links you to an Amazon site, I think.
I don't even want to click on it. It sounds like a phishing scam.
It really does. Oh, Richards and Southern is run by Kenny Chesney.
Let's see what's in this.
That's crazy. That's not good.
Run by Bubble Up.
Are you guys ready for this?
I am. Let's do this. I'm excited because I just mentioned it and a box appeared. All right. Stables.
Damien, get the stables.
All right. First up.
Glorious.
As the disappointment shirt.
All right.
For your love of women's wrestling.
That's a legit shirt right there.
Damien, could you just slip that under the door for Bill?
Because
I would so put it on right now.
Because evidently the four horsewomen is a legitimate stable.
Yes.
In wrestling history.
Yep.
You can find that shirt on your bank statement now.
Ooh.
I don't have the necessary equipment to show this off right now because it says allow 2 hours to fully expand.
Are you still talking about the
a
shirt?
foam finger for someone?
I'm pretty sure it's just a sham wow.
Open it. Just open it.
Let's see what it is.
Okay. Our pin this month, collector's pin, is the NWO Defiled.
There we go.
I could be down with that.
All right.
I mean, it's not the same pattern, but
it's not accurate because the N is capital when they spray paint. But this is more authentic to their appropriate logo.
I'm okay with it.
I give it a 3.
We've got a pair of Bray Wyatt socks.
I know who's wearing those tomorrow.
Yeah.
The Triple H big head action figure thing.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah. He's in a couple stables.
He is.
I like that.
And the new issue, Volume 2, of the Slam Crate. Oh, hold on. All right, there's a poster. Oh, it's a New Day. It's a New Day finger.
Oh, a unicorn finger.
I dig it.
Sweet.
Oh, okay. There's a quick interview with Sanity.
With a download to their entrance music.
And there's a poster of the stable who will not be reuniting this month. The Shield.
Mm.
I thought it was going to be beer money.
And there's a tease for who's going to be in next month's Loot Crate.
The Undertaker.
Sasha Banks. No, it's the Undertaker.
It's Kane. It's Kane.
Hellfire and Brimstone.
And then here's this month, by month, whatever. It's this box's booklet. And featured here are the famous stables, the Four Horsewomen, the New Day, and Shit D-Generation X.
So is that someone behind Sasha Banks?
And then over here we have the Shield. No, what? Becky Lynch next to her?
No, I feel like what's
That's her hand.
okay, you're a little high, but there we go. Okay, I forgot what that was. A sock puppet? I can't tell.
It's Mr.
It's
Sacco. Yeah.
Okay, and then the book's just kind of going over different stables. We've got the Wyatt family.
Oh, I thought it was a coloring book.
An adult coloring book.
I love those things. Hell yeah.
Every time I buy one of them, I keep running out of peach. And
We got the Shield,
24 pack of Crayolas.
the Shield, the Four Horsemen,
It's a slow burn, Andy.
the New Day. Evidently, DIY is a stable.
Oh, okay.
A
Do they
two-man,
include Rude?
a
They only,
two-man
have, they only have 2 members, but they have 3 letters, and that's enough to count.
I don't think tag teams are stables, but the Four Horsewomen,
Not a stable.
the NWO. Ooh. You all know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here, is the quote.
Yo. I beat Goldberg with the taser. Yo.
There is not a list of every member of the NWO. But they do. The Click, also not a stable.
Not a stable.
Just friends.
And D-Generation X. So the Click's featured 3 times.
So they had a 70% chance of being a stable in that book. That's
Kind
fair.
of a lackluster Loot Crate, I'm not going to lie.
You shouldn't have opened it in front of us. Now we're all disappointed by you.
That was it?
That was it.
Wow.
How much did that cost you?
$40.
Ew. Oh, in the immortal words of a good friend of mine. Ew.
Are you excited about anything that came in that?
The pin's cool, but inaccurate.
No, but apparently that's the logo they use for all their post-printed NWO belt stuff. So in the video game, that's how it looks. And all the action figures, that's how it looks. Even though they do use a capital N on all the Hogan belts. That's how they represent it in all the games and stuff. Because I had to look it up.
Just now?
Yeah.
And I guess the figures are, I don't like the style with the big head. I'm not a big Pop Vinyl fan, sorry. I just don't like the super deformed look. And if you're gonna at least do that style where they're all consistent, but I like the Triple H figure just because I have last month's Stone Cold, so I guess I'm gonna have them all.
Now you can have your fantasy warfare with them.
Now, Damien, would you trade this crate for the Global Force Wrestling prize pack, and we'll even throw in a ball cap?
No. Nope.
Well, if you change your mind, you can check out richardsonsouthern.com.
Weird question. Can Shop TNA still say that they have official Jeff Hardy merchandise?
They
I don't know.
essentially still have Jeff Hardy merchandise, is what they mean.
They say it's official. I'm about to buy a Jeff Hardy baseball bat.
Check. Oh yeah, because he used that.
It
say-
says
Technically, we still have Jeff Hardy merch.
right.
Is that a baseball bat with just Jeff Hardy's picture over?
It's
Because
not
they
his
have-
picture. It just says branded on it, the charismatic enigma.
Did they have a surplus of Stingbacks they couldn't get rid of, so they had to rebrand them under someone else?
Who then left too? Do they have any broken merch, or was all of that just the Hardys?
I have no idea. I'm reading the description of this right now. Don West here to tell you about another great deal. The Slugger Jeff Hardy bat. Now you're saying, what's that going to cost? $150? No. $100? No. $50? Not even. $40? Nope. Just $29.99.
Now you can own your very own baseball bat from everyone's favorite wrestler, the Slugger Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, because we know that we equate him to baseball.
I love the random Toby Keith ad banner on their website.
Does this mean that Jeff Hardy's getting $0 from this deal?
I don't know. You think he gets like a residual check?
That's what I'm saying. Do you think that there's like some residuals that he's going to get from this? Because that would be hilarious.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. When he was actively on their roster, they weren't paying people, so
It's true.
it'd be hard pressed to see them actually paying someone that's not on the roster.
This merchandise sucks.
Next month's shirt is going to be, or the next Slam Crate shirt is the Hardy Boy shirt that they wore on Raw this week.
Okay, Dave, this is great because when you click on that by their belts
I told you.
on that banner, and it just says, "This is somewhat embarrassing, isn't it?"
I told you. Bill, did I not just literally say that exact thing when I clicked it?
That's so funny.
Yeah,
That's so funny.
the repeat.
I literally said that as I clicked it. I'm like, this is embarrassing. No,
That's
literally,
great.
that's what it says.
That is great.
This is awful.
Wow.
Man, this website sucks.
Now, it has the Shop Impact Wrestling stuff. Is that better?
I'm at Shop TNA right now. It's just the worst. I would never wear. Oh, there's broken merchandise. I found the broken merchandise. It's not Hardy stuff. It's just shit that's been broken that they're trying to sell. Oh, there's a Nero shirt. There's a Matt broken shirt. Wow. The Wolves, are they still a thing of TNA's?
Yeah, they're singles guys though.
But they're not the Wolves anymore. This is awful. Let's make some picks.
Picks.
Because I don't want to be. I'm literally saddening myself by going through this shop.
Yeah. All right. What do we got?
Who's taking it down? Because I'll get the card.
It's not me. I'm too focused on Don West trying to sell me shit right now.
I'll take. Have you like they used to have one of those like his mystery bag deals? I got it one year for my brother for Christmas, like 5-6 years ago. It was a really good deal. You get some shirts, some DVDs, all in this like crappy brown bag.
You know, like that order went to like some like guy in catering. It just went to his phone. He's like, "Go grab some shit from the merch table." Okay, and just piled it in, and then was like, "Cool."
I don't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure it was a ShopRite logo in a brown bag. Like, pretty sure they got the bag from a local grocery store.
All right, pre-show: Ty Dillinger versus Aiden English.
Dillinger. They just came out with his action figure.
Ooh.
Oh, brown bag.
Andy, Ty Dillinger, Aiden English.
I feel like I'm just gonna pick whatever Damien chooses.
Damien, a little music.
You put pressure on me.
It's an important one. You got to like set the tone here to get the show right.
Ty Dillinger.
All right.
I really think Aiden English, because it'd be the Swerve, and they seem to be doing more with him on SmackDown just as a joke character than they are with Ty. But his whole character is based on crying when he loses, right? So he has to lose. He doesn't
Also, I don't know if you know this, but he also sings a little.
Ooh,
He does.
He says melody. That's good. All right, what's the next bout? We've got
What
that
was
one.
your pick, Bill?
I said it, Ty Dillinger.
Okay.
From the get-go.
Sami
Yep.
Zayn versus Mike Kanellis with Maria Kanellis.
ooh.
I'm going Mike Kanellis.
I'm going Mike Kanellis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to agree with Damien on this.
Shut up, Andy.
The Usos versus the New Day for the Tag Team Championships.
Ooh.
New Day? Am I the only one picking? No, anybody?
I'm still writing this stuff down.
I'm gonna go.
Does the fact that there might be another Page sex video alter the way you look at this match?
It'll alter what
Turns out it's with Jay Uso.
it'll alter what I look at instead of this match.
Jay Uso pulled out his Jimmy, if you know what I'm saying.
Little Jimmy, R-Truth was there. I'm gonna pick the New Day.
I'm gonna buy a Magnus shirt just so he gets a residual check of like $1 on his way out.
Are there any other tag teams on SmackDown Live?
Not American Alpha.
Oh, too soon.
Not the Blood Villains.
Like, who would feud with who, depending on who won?
The Ascension fight. See with the New Day.
Breezango. They come back.
Maybe the Hype Bros?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I'm going to go with Paranoia. The Usos. Sorry, they're not Paranoia. It's the Usos.
Okay.
All right, I have to agree.
John Cena versus Rusev in a flag match.
That's really happening?
Yep.
That's a thing.
Sorry, I haven't watched in a while.
John Cena.
John Cena.
Yeah.
I'm going Rusev. He's on this big kick of like, I'm here to help. You know, that's the only reason I'm around. I'm 40. I'm 40, bro. Like that's
the reason I'm taking it back is because it's Philly. They're purposely gonna do the anti-American thing to give him heat. Yeah.
Yeah, just because Philly's very American.
Birthplace of the country, actually.
I'm all about it.
First capital.
They'll show that Liberty Bell right before he loses.
Yeah, Rusev.
Ooh.
For the record, I picked it first.
He did.
Andy?
I have to agree with these guys. That's what I've sworn to.
I just want to see after the picks came out and he got 0 right. I just agreed with everyone.
I know.
I'm just a fool.
Charlotte versus Becky versus Natalya versus Tamina versus Lana. Number 1 contender for the SmackDown Women's Championship at SummerSlam.
Charlotte.
Who's the champion? Naomi.
Are you not glowing with that? So wait, one more time the competitors.
Charlotte,
Okay.
Becky Lynch,
gonna
Natalya,
feud.
Tamina, and Lana.
I'm going to go curveball and go Tamina. I think that Becky and Charlotte are going to feud out of it themselves, and they're going to have something. And then with the other 3, you can't have Lana again. So I'm going to go Tamina in a curveball match.
I'm going to pick Natalya.
Tamina, Charlotte?
Andy, you're frozen. Say something, Andy. Agree with someone.
I've sworn to agree with Damien on this whole thing.
We got to hear it, though. We got to see it. You can't be Orasa making picks.
I said it from the get-go. Whatever
Natalya.
Damien picks.
What did Damian pick?
Natalia.
Yeah.
Are you picking Charlotte legit?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
Shinsuke Nakamura versus Baron Corbin. I'm going Nakamura because Corbin has the briefcase either way.
Nakamura, bold prediction, briefcase cash in.
Ooh.
Ooh. All right. AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens for the United States Championship.
Bold prediction, Kinshasa.
Kinshasa. AJ.
Andy and I pick AJ.
All right.
Do you guys think Styles is facing Cena or Nakamura at SummerSlam?
Nakamura. I think they're pulling the trigger on that soon.
And finally, Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton in a Punjabi prison match.
Mm.
And it's Jinder.
Jinder with a cash in.
Jinder neutral.
JFW.
I'm also
Free
thinking that
wrestling.
Jinder is going to win.
Yeah, Jinder with a cash in. No one's talking but me. I don't know if we're making picks.
Bill, are you going to try to rush the prison cell? Or
Well, I'm going to try to escape, but first I'm going to tell the refs to open up all 4 of those little doors, which I think will be the easiest part as long as Randy and Jinder don't stop me. Then I'm going to go out that door, and then I'll be honest, I'm going to get winded climbing that thing because it looks pretty tall.
will you have the escape plans tattooed on your body like Prison Break?
Well, I think I'm going to ask the help of some of great colleagues, former friends like Burt Reynolds and Adam Sandler. And I know that once I get to the top, it'll be, the last 3 feet or so will be the longest yard. But we'll overcome, and I'll be the WWE champion.
Do you think the reason that they have a Punjabi prison match is because they're so useless? Like, you can't really use them as an actual prison because people just keep climbing out of them? Like, well, what the fuck do we do with this? I don't know. Like, why would they call that a prison match? Like, what do you do with that? Dumbest match ever.
It'd be better if there were some, like, Dobermans in between the 2 cages.
But you got to make sure you feed them before the match. Because if you don't feed them, they won't be hungry.
Uh-huh.
Science.
Have no fear, Trix. I'm going back in. Trick, what did you pick Breezango for?
No, we were talking about who other tag team matches, or what other tag teams were available.
Well, yeah, Breezango finds out who killed the horse this week. So who do you think that was?
They are by far the most interesting part of the tag team divisions right now. Go, Johnny Curtis. I believe in you.
And I love pausing and reading their board every week. This week, Hornswoggle, and it said Anonymous GM. And then, I don't know, there were other ones.
Well, I, like usual, I wrote down all of Ara Ross's picks.
Fucking guessing at it.
I just give up. I go, all right, well, I guess this is what she's picking.
She picked Vampiro for 3 matches. I was so fucking confused.
The worst part was she got those right.
Oh my god.
You think she didn't finish the app and that's why she's not here?
Maybe.
I wasn't here last week to understand why anyone wouldn't be here.
So maybe was it last week or the week before that I completely tore her apart for my my bio in it?
Last week.
That was last week. So Damien, you weren't here for that. When I basically shredded her for including that. The only thing about me was at one point I am.
You're a referee.
I am a referee. She has like a 2-paragraph like bio of like all this stuff, and everyone's got like this loving, like they're a supportive father, and you know they're really positive. And then I got this bullshit statement of he's a wrestling referee.
Why haven't you let this go yet?
I'm so upset about that.
I think that sums it up, man.
And then she's like, well, you didn't give me a bio. And I'm like, neither did anybody else. No one else.
At least it should just say he's a wrestling referee. #lesboat.
No, it was going to be #Lucha Rules.
Oh, okay.
That's what I wanted to add.
Or he's a wrestling referee and he's awesome. Like something like that, maybe.
It wasn't even that.
Self-proclaimed awesome person.
Right, it was something like that too. It was just like it was totally backhanded. Like, well, I didn't fucking know. It's like, well, you found shit for everybody else.
Oh, yeah, and I called her out on it. She did message me before one of the podcasts and repeatedly asked me if I was going to be on time because she didn't want to be alone with Dave.
I'm with it, man. I think that sums it up.
That was just crazy.
All right.
No bold predictions by anybody else?
Yeah, I don't want to chance at a bonus point for a score that doesn't matter.
This pay-per-view is meaningless. Nothing's happening.
Ouch.
We didn't talk Kurt Angle and Jordan at all. At all. I was so excited about that.
I was purposely avoiding it.
I know.
I saw it. It's like the only thing I saw this week.
And that Paige is getting brought up on charges.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
And then
quite good.
And then there's another sex tape that's getting released. It hasn't been released. Which means Del Rio is going to try and fight somebody else at some Mexican restaurant in Texas. I don't fucking know what's going on.
All I know is that I think that Brad Maddox is my bold prediction is Brad Maddox is the one who's been attacking Breezango.
That'd be a good one.
And he tore up the horse with his self, not with any type of weapon other than.
Question on the callback: did we ever find out why he was in the cave? Was that ever resolved?
He just ended it and wasn't in the cave anymore a year later.
That was literally all it was?
Yeah.
Gotcha. What continuity? Why were we in that cave, man? I don't know. Do you think he works indie dates? Can I ask him about the cave? Like, I'll drive to go find out why he was in that cave. He's working in Durnsville, Indiana. I'm going.
Is there any chance that this mystery second tape ends up on the Global Force video section? Now available.
I believe they're selling signed copies of it.
And does Del Rio still not get any merch credit for it because it's on their shop? Just curious. They're still selling Manic t-shirts? Holy shit. I'm going to be wearing so much TNA merch at all of the future Mimi TV tapings. I'm just calling it out now.
I just wish they had something that we could consider like essential AJ Styles.
What, like a pro wrestling is real ... shirt? There's 4 dots.
And on the back it says, no, it's not.
This is just so dumb. Why am I still looking?
What the fuck? Oh.
Wow, this is crazy. Anything else that happened this week?
No.
I don't think so.
Who was the mystery guest, by the way? I gotta ask. There's a mystery guest.
Oh, Rasa.
She wanted to make sure that she wasn't going to be in the room by herself with me.
Exactly.
Who?
Didn't she say something about how it hurts her business to be on here?
To be associated with us, possibly. Specifically with me, I don't know.
I don't know.
My favorite thing about Shop TNA is that it's the 4th of July celebration sale still.
I just want to buy this Jeff Hardy coloring book for 80 cents.
They're getting ready for next year's Demon.
Dude, I just want to point out that RichardsandSouthern.com has quite the extensive client list.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Oh my god.
They've got the auction up for the merch section on the website. Do you think we could like bid on the lighting?
Think we can bid on Corrigan shares?
They're already fire selling the company.
Oh man, this is nuts.
So did you guys want to discuss anything in particular before we just end this?
I can't think of anything in particular, unfortunately.
I don't want it to get to where it was last week. So.
Oh, well, who won the tournament?
G1 is still going on.
No, the women's tournament.
The finals are live in September.
Oh, they are live.
Both Brian and my girls got knocked out in the first round.
Really?
Yep. First round exits.
Who was Brian's? Tessa?
No.
Who's left? Who do we got? Who's left?
I mean, I don't want to spoil it for anyone.
I don't care anymore because my girl got knocked out and someone
Don't
sent
pay
that to me.
attention. But it's Sane versus the UFC girl.
Oh, Shayna Baszler?
Yeah.
Oh, that's who I picked. Yeah.
It's
Makes
Kairi
sense.
Sane versus Kirai Sane versus Baszler.
Makes sense.
And they built it well from what I read. Like, Baszler came out as a face, and they just kept pushing her as like a no mercy heel, and played the 4 horsewomen against the 4 horsewomen in the crowd.
Yeah.
So by the end of it, like, everyone hated her and now wants the other one to win.
Good.
So
Good.
the big like German lady, is she still around?
Brian's is Tanara Conti, by the way. Tanara Conti. That's his girl.
Okay.
Sorry, just had to find that.
I mean, I know she was a bit rough on the edges, but I don't know if I would call her Conti.
Just awful. Do you believe that there's any truth to the fact that they were like pissed off that they weren't hot?
No, because Ruby Riott is employed by WWE, and Charlotte Flair is their main women's star.
Was anybody else weirded out about Nia Jax's butt being shaken next to Lana's?
Yeah, I was.
And there was so many dudes that were like, I'd tap that. I'm just
I
like,
thought there were 4 girls in that picture, and then I realized that it was Nia Jax.
Side note, the best part of all the discussions were, wow, Lana's sister is so hot, I'd bang her so hard. She's 16. So those were happening in every comments thread that were of that gif going around. So
I didn't know Lana had a sister.
that was the third girl.
No idea.
That's the third girl in that picture. Alexa Bliss was there, but she was fully clothed. She didn't have a swimsuit on.
So did Brian delete his comments then?
So is that why you put up on charges?
So I'm a part of that Salamonster Sounds Off group on Facebook, and randomly on my Facebook, Brian commenting on there about, I think the Nia Jax thing came up on my feed. I'm like, I know that guy.
Really? Oh my goodness.
What's that?
You sent him a friend request?
No.
Ouch.
I didn't feel comfortable after telling his child to search through his computer.
That was the best time to send that friend request. Build the bridge.
Build a bridge. Build a Billy Bear. But yeah, nothing else to talk about. I'm good for the rest of the week.
All right.
Just stop this.
Wait. the Oni Lorcan match versus this week on NXT versus Danny Burch. Did anyone see it?
No.
No. Watch it. It's good. Okay, that's it.
I'll check it out.
I'll check it out. Why not?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. See you next week.
See y'all next week.
Enjoy Battleground, Bill.
Hey, I'll have
Yeah.
in-depth information on it.
Have fun.
I'm going to sleep through it.